Hi, okay, so I'm back. In my last video, I told you what I was going to be doing in this blog, and I mentioned that I was going to be telling you about how law school is and about the weights and everything. So I just felt like I said my last video, like I said it was like 2 months ago. It's been just a few minutes, but well, so I decided that I should start by, telling you how my last 9 months have been, because you can't really talk about the future without first going to the past. What did I do with the time I had? First of all, why did I have to stay at home that long? Okay, so first, I stayed at home for 9 months because of the strikes. Well, if you're a Nigerian, or you have an affiliation within a Nigerian university or something of that sort, you should actually know that federal universities in Nigeria, they have a lot of strikes. Sometimes ASU, that's the Academic Staff Union, they are protesting for higher salaries, or the non-academic staff union protesting for one thing or the other. Sometimes the student union are even protesting, and we just stay off school. So we had a very, very long strike, which was the major reason why we had to stay at home for that long. It was a 6 month strike, and that was in 2014. Yeah, that was in that was no, that was in 2000. That was 2013. Wait, that was 2013. So in 2013, we had a strike and we had to stay at home for 6 months, and it kind of just affected our entire program, and we couldn't catch up. They didn't. Let's not put the blame on anybody. We couldn't catch up because, of course, they wanted to give us the best they could teach us, so they didn't want to just speed past everything and just send us off to law school half baked. So we ended up spending more time than we had, because law school has a window. Law school only takes students 2 times in a year, and our school didn't send people. Don't send Our school didn't send people at the other time. They didn't think it was necessary. They thought that, okay, why don't you just wait? Because it doesn't really make any difference. So that's that. So for the first 3 months of the break, the wait, I basically just sat down at home. I had a plan before I left school, because I'm much of a planner, and I had a plan. I said I was going to, learn how to swim. I wanted to grow my hair. I wanted to learn how to play the guitar. I've had a guitar for like 3 years, and I bought it, and I have never learned how to play it. I never learned how to play it until this break. Well, I didn't have any time, but I'm still very interested in the guitar. So I wanted to grow my hair. I wanted to work in a legal organization. I also wanted to work in a legal organization, like chambers or something, a law chambers, a law firm, for a little while. And I just wanted to self-reflect and do what I do. And the thing about it was, the reason why I planned so hard when it came to this break was because for that 6 months that I was telling you about, I basically can't remember anything I achieved during the 6 months. Okay, I organized some programs and that, but personally, I don't really think I made very good use of the 6 months that I stayed at home. So I was determined that the 9 months wasn't going to be like that. So I think that's the first thing. You need to be determined that you want to do something with that time. You don't just want to waste it away. And I couldn't really do anything concrete because, first of all, we only had 9 months. If it was a year, then I'm sure a lot of us would have gone to do our National Youth Service Corps. But we couldn't do that because we had 9 months, and youth service takes a year. Plus, we have to apply for youth service and posting and everything. So let's say a year and a quarter. but we only had 9 months. I couldn't really take any professional classes or exams because most of them actually that I was interested in had like a year. You need to be there for a year to be able to actually do something. So I just needed to do little things that could keep me busy, and I could get experience, and I could really feel like I made good use of my break and I didn't just sit around wasting my life. So for the next 3 months, after the first 3 months where I basically just sat at home, um, that was in May. I took up a job in a group of schools, um, Bright Destiny group of schools. It was the nursery. They had a daycare, nursery, primary, and secondary school, and I was the administrator, school administrator, or admin officer, if you could call it that. So I did basically everything from making sure that everybody looked good, the uniforms were good, making sure that the teachers were doing what they needed to be doing at each and every time, making sure that they were teaching the right things, making sure the students were actually gaining what they should gain, making sure that the school was clean, the staff were on check, they were doing what they were supposed to do, basically everything. I planned the graduation. I planned I planned the prefect investiture. I created student rules and regulation, staff rules and regulation. I just made sure that everything was right. But I did that for just 3 months. Like before I went there, I told them I only had 3 months to spend there. So it was kind of a contract thing, just to make everything go right for that 3 months. Set something, put something down. And the thing about it is, I like organization. I like things that have to do with keeping things in place and doing things right and administrative work. So I felt it was just perfect. It was just like the perfect secular opportunity for me. So I didn't need to go and sit down in a bank and work my ass off in a bank. I ended up just staying in the school, and I did what I loved. That I didn't teach because I wasn't there to teach, and I don't know if I'm a good teacher, or at least I don't know. I think I'm a good teacher, but I don't know if I'm a good teacher for younger secondary school, high school, and elementary school people. I don't know how I'll handle that. So I think I'll just go crazy. But I'm sure. Well, you never know. So from July to September, I worked in a chamber. I did chamber attachment, and it was exciting. It was fun. I learned a lot of things, and it was different from the chamber attachment I'd previously done when I was an undergraduate, because I actually this law firm in this law firm the majority of the period where I was working there, the courts were on vacation, so it was only the vacation courts and the magistrate courts that were open. So they we didn't really go to the court a lot. We majorly just did land deals, making buying land, survey, going there to check the land and seeing um, basically contract things, and yeah, that was basically most of what we did. Yeah, I remember that I did go to give somebody a subpoena one time, and yeah, to serve somebody with some documents. I went to get some documents stamped, and I went to get some CTCs, certified true copies, and things like that, basically. But we didn't do a lot of chamber going as opposed to the other chambers I was at, because we went to chambers every day except Fridays at that chamber, and so it was a different experience for me. I am more. I'm sure you pretty much figure that out as time goes by. But I'm more interested in criminal law than corporate law. I'm not one of those ladies that would sit down in an organization and just sign documents and read through things. I want to go to the court. I want to see what's about. I want to see what we're doing. I want to be into criminal law. I actually want right now, my dream is to be a state prosecutor. I want to work for the government for a while, and I want to do criminal law. So, but it was interesting to experience the other side, because even though I don't want to do that, it was something that it was a nice experience for me. And you find that in Nigeria, most law firms are actually more involved in land and corporate matters than criminal law, because of course the state handles all criminal prosecution, and the defense, well, let's just say this, not most rich people, if you really want money, criminal law defense is not something that you would specialize in. It would just be general practicing, and if you have a criminal law case, you just take it and you just move on. But in Nigeria, that is. So, okay, so that was what I did. Okay, why I stopped in September, because I actually I wanted to travel. I went on a vacation. I went to the US for about a month, and that was what I did with the rest of my wait, and then I came back and continued waiting. I didn't think it was necessary to go back and work for like 2 weeks, because yeah, it wasn't necessary. So what did other people do? Some of my classmates, they did a chamber attachment from the very beginning of the break till the very end. Some people just sat down at home all through. I know of a few people who basically just sat down at home all through the break. They didn't do different things. And I know of some people who worked in other non in secular organizations, non-legal organizations, and they just worked there from the beginning to the end. Some people didn't do anything for a longer period of time, maybe like 7 months, 6 months, and then the last 2 months they're like, oh, let me do something. Actually, I've been at home for so long, and they ended up doing something. But if I should advise you, I would say that you should really know what exactly it is you want to do, because the time can just pass by. You're at home one day and you're like, oh, okay, I've only been at home for 2 days, and the next day it's like I've been at home for 4 months. What am I doing in my life? So you really should know what you're going to do, and just get on and do it. There's no need to wait or just chill. And coming from me, I procrastinate a lot, so that is one of the things I'm going to stop. I am planning to stop, and I'm going to get an agenda ready, and I'm going to work on it. I'm going to stop procrastinating. But really, if you want to do something, you should just know what you want to do and just get on and do it. So how did I get through it? It was quite challenging, especially like the ending part, where you have your mates, people who you finished high school with, and they've been called to the bar and they're giving you law school advice, and you're like, oh, why are you giving me law school advice? We're supposed to be classmates. But you just realize that it's really not about that. It's really not about that. I had a class group. My class group, we created a group on WhatsApp, and that was really helpful, because most of us from the class were in the group. So we kind of well, we wouldn't call it a support group, but it was pretty much what a support group would do. It helped us to get through it. It helped us to we weren't very close when we were in school, but during this period of during this period, we sort of just created a bond, and we just became close. And a lot of things happened. One of our classmates died, Mr. Fina, in blessed memory. But we got through it. We went there. We showed up for him. We were at the funeral. It wasn't a very happy gathering. It wasn't the way we wanted to gather back together, but some things just happened, and it was really sad, because he was a really good person, and it wasn't, not that I wish anybody to die, but if I had to pick people that I would have given instead, it wouldn't have been him. He was a good person. He was really kind to a lot of us when we were in school, and he was really smart, so he would always put people through. If he had materials, he would share. He wasn't that kind of person, but God knows best. So okay, I have a list that I wrote down. That's why I keep looking down. So yeah, my class group was really helpful. My family was supportive. My church. I just when I went home and people were asking, "Oh, when are you going to law school? What's happening? Are you done or something?" I just told them like, you know what? I have no idea. So they didn't have to keep bothering me and like bugging me and like, "Oh, okay, what happened? I thought you were supposed to go to law school. Why are you here?" And make the situation very uncomfortable and very hard to explain. So I think that was basically what I did, and it kind of really helped me because I could just move on with other things and not have to be thinking of every time I have to go to church, somebody's going to be asking me like, why am I at home? Why am I not doing anything and all that. So okay, yes, and my friends were really helpful. Sase, Jato. So yeah, and my other friends, everybody. So what was the worst part for me? I think that the worst part for me was seeing my classmates, seeing my friends, doing so well and achieving so much. And I just felt like, okay, what am I doing in my life? Why am I here? Like, why is this happening to me? Why and why and why and why? That was basically the worst part of me. The worst part wasn't sitting at home. The worst part wasn't. It was just that like I couldn't. It was a constant process for me to keep telling myself. And I'm in a relationship with a wonderful young man, Jato. So he was very supportive and he kept telling me, okay, it's not how far, it's how well, and that kind of helped me a bit because it was a problem for me. Like these people are already lawyers, I'm still here. Like they're doing this. Everybody's doing so well. People have their masters and they're done with their NYSC and I'm just here. I'm just a graduate, just a graduate. Like, what else? Like, that's it. All I have is an LLB. I haven't even done my graduation ceremony. I have to be explaining to people. People have to keep asking me, "Oh, what's happening?" And especially people who don't really know how the Nigerian system works. When you have to tell them that, "Oh, okay, this is why this is this and this is that," and I'm just explaining to somebody right here today, and next tomorrow somebody's coming and asking me the same question. That was really offensive for me, and I really hated it. And I'm sure a lot of people hated it as well. The best part for me was basically how I got to bond with my family members. I got to stay around more. I haven't really been around because when I was in high school, I was in a boarding house, and then I was always in school, and then for the university, I live in Lagos State, and I schooled in Ibadan first. I went to a university first before I went to University of Ibadan, and just for a short while. But I really haven't been at home a lot, so it was cool. I got to talk to them and hang around with them a lot, and that was nice because I haven't really had time. My family is a wonderful family, and I haven't really had time to stay with them and bond and just stay and gist and laugh and find out what's going on with them because everybody is busy about their lives. I have to be in class. I have to be doing this and that and that, and they have to be at work and everything. So that was the best part for me, being able to stay around and actually be around for an extended period of time with my family. And also my vacation was quite nice. Yeah, my vacation was nice. So I learned how to play the guitar. No, not completely. I started learning how to play the guitar, but when I started working, I know all the chords, and I know pretty much. I could strum, I could pick, I could do a few things. I could play some songs, like the solo of some songs by myself, which is really good for me. I don't care about your judgment, but for me that's really good. So, and I learned how to swim. I did learn how to swim, so I can swim now. Yeah. Okay, so and then I cut my hair. My hair was like here at the beginning of the break, like shoulder length, just touching the shoulder, and but then I found out my hair was breaking a lot, and I started watching a lot of YouTube videos, and I just decided that Okay, I need to start over. So I cut my hair. My hair is really short now. You can see it's not even chin level. It's more like ear level. It's really short. I have it braided in four, so you can't really see the length. But so I cut my hair, and I really hope that I'm going to have some time to actually grow my hair back during law school. Like, I hope I have the time to dedicate to that. This is a really long video. I was trying to keep all my videos like 5 minutes and below, but I did not achieve. If you watch this video to this extent, like if you actually watched it this long, then thumbs up for you, Shakiti. Okay, but yeah, so okay, so that was basically how I spent my 9 months, and I'm super excited it's coming to an end because I'm tired of being here. I'm tired of being at this stage of my life. I'm tired of my hair being this short. But I really just think I need to move on. I don't like to be at one place for too long. Not at one place, like one place, but I don't like to be at one place of my life, like one stage. I think that even if you're in the same location, as long as you're moving stages, you're moving up or something, then that's good. So, yeah, that was how I spent my 9 months at home. Thank you for watching. I do hope you like this video and subscribe. Bye.